Of all the non-dairy milks out there, store-bought oat milk is the one that is hardest to replicate at home. I've tried many times, and the homemade results are either slimy or taste like oat-flavored water. Yes, you can add cashews, but then it is not nut-free. I became exasperated after months and months of trying to make homemade oat milk. So I decided that, for now, oat milk is something that I will purchase. There are so many oat milk products in the market. I've tried many of them. In this video, I'm going to review and compare 4 unsweetened oat milk products. One of them I've always wanted to try, but haven't had a chance to try. The other 3 are my favorites because they taste close to real milk. Come, follow me on my journey towards a happier, healthier, and freer life. Subscribe to be notified on upcoming videos. Some of you may know I launched a collection of cold weather scarves, especially designed to comfort those with sensitive skin. So if you find scarves scratchy, check out freeandcat.com. Which is the best oat milk? Alright, these are the 4 unsweetened and unflavored oat milks. All have no added sugars in their ingredients list. The first is Suzie's Oat non-dairy beverage. This is the one I haven't tried before. The second here is Oat Canada. Third, Chobani Oat Plain. And fourth, Oatmilk by Califia Farms. I'm going to review each oat milk in terms of its overall taste. How close does it taste to real milk? Its ingredients and nutrition. How does it perform as a non-dairy creamer? And does it froth? Stay tuned to the end of the video to find out which of these I'll be stocking up on. I'm going to taste test all of these on my own time. In between each tasting, I will drink some lemon water to cleanse my palate. After, I'll conduct the froth and non-dairy creamer test. Then, I'll share the results. Be right back. Taste testing outcomes. Suzie's Oat. Wow. It's not watery at all. I've been hesitant to purchase this because it only contains oats and water, and I was afraid it would taste like oat flavored water, but it doesn't at all. It's not watery, but surprisingly it's really sweet considering it is supposed to have no sugar in it. Adding on to my reactions, I cannot taste any oats in this drink. It doesn't taste anywhere close to real milk. Its consistency and taste resembles more like packaged sweetened soy milk or rice milk. 2 words to describe its taste: sugary water. Oat Canada. Just before I taste it, first of all, it really looks like milk. The same color as milk, like very white, where the other ones have a bit of an off-white, beigey color. It tastes really good. There is no sweet, sugary taste in this at all. There's a very slight, mild, distinct flavor or something. I can't pinpoint what it is. There is a distinct chalky aftertaste. It's like when you accidentally bite down a calcium pill or those white vitamin tablets. It could be the calcium carbonate, I don't know, but there's definitely a distinct aftertaste. There's also no oats flavor in this oat milk. A very clean, crisp, non-gummy taste. The consistency is like 2% milk, and with the exception of the aftertaste, I would say it tastes like milk without any natural sweetness. 2 words to describe Oat Canada: truly unsweetened. Chobani Oat Plain. This tastes very good. It's a little bit, how do I say it? It also has consistency of milk, and it's a little bit sweeter than the Oat Canada. And there's definitely oaty taste in here. There's flavors of oat. Want to point out that the sweetness here is very mild, natural, not sugary at all. It reminds me of cereal milk. To elaborate further on the sweetness level, Oat Canada is like a 0, not sweet at all. And Chobani Oat is like a 1 to 1.5, whereas Suzie's Oat is like 5, very sweet. Chobani Oat Plain tastes very close to whole milk. It's very, very good. 2 words to describe Chobani: very good. Califia Farms Oat Milk. It tastes a lot like milk too. This one tastes closer to the Chobani Oat Milk. It is about the same consistency. I can also taste a little bit of oat. Sweetness is well blended. Okay, I feel like I'm not doing Califia Farms Oat Milk any justice. Allow me to explain. Chobani Oat Plain and Califia Farms Oat Milk taste very similar. They're both so good. And because I tasted the Chobani Oat Milk first during the taste test, I feel like I'm repeating the same things that have been said about Chobani to Califia Farms. So everything I mentioned about Chobani Oat Plain also applies to Califia Farms. The main difference between the two are very slight. For example, when you smell the Califia Farms Oat Milk, you can smell the fragrance of oats and cereal milk. Chobani Oat Milk, you can taste it, but you can't smell it. Califia Farms also has a slightly more refined and smoother mouthfeel. It has a slightly fresher milk taste, probably because Califia Farms doesn't contain any gums. The oaty cereal milk notes in Califia Farms are also slightly richer. 2 words to describe this drink: best tasting. Well, this sums up the test tasting segment of this video. For me personally, if we are only considering taste, the best tasting oat milk is Califia Farms. Though Chobani Oats taste pretty similar, but I guess there can be only one best. Which is the healthiest of the 4? Imagine you are in a supermarket wanting to purchase the healthier option. You turn to the back of these 4 oat milks and see the following. Let's analyze. The first thing I noticed is, with the exception of Califia Farms, the nutritional facts are based on a 250 milliliter serving. Califia Farms is 240 milliliters. So whatever we compare, know that Califia Farms will be a bit higher than what it states. Calories wise, Oat Canada has the lowest calories, whereas Califia Farms have the highest. Let's look at the ingredients. Suzie's oat has the cleanest ingredients list: water and oats. The only oat milk here that contains some form of gum is Chobani, which contains gellan gum. It is the last on the ingredients list, presumably very little. Gellan gum, similar to other gums, are used to bind ingredients together. I'm not fond of gums because it changes the mouthfeel of the drink, but we have taste tested Chobani oats and I think it's fine in this case. Apart from the gum, Chobani and Califia Farms have very similar ingredients: water, oats, and oil, salt, and the same 3 additives, which are dipotassium phosphate, calcium carbonate, and tricalcium phosphate. Oat Canada also contains dipotassium phosphate and calcium carbonate. I think these additives are what makes store-bought oat milk taste so good. In fact, the reason why I wanted to try out Chobani Oat for the very first time was because I saw its ingredients were similar to Califia Farms, so I figured the taste must be somewhat similar, and it is. So what are these 3 food additives for? Generally to mimic milk. Dipotassium phosphate is not uncommon in the production of oat milk, especially in the barista and creamer versions. It is what gives it the smooth, creamy, milk-like consistency. It binds all the ingredients together so it doesn't separate, especially when you add it into acidic drinks like coffee. It also allows oat milk to be heated up without thickening. Calcium carbonate and tricalcium phosphate are used to fortify drinks with calcium, which is why you get calcium in these 3 oat milks, whereas for Suzie's oat, calcium is at 0 grams. Both of these also have properties to make oat milk look whiter and more opaque. There are probably other reasons for these additives, so if you do know, please share in the comments below. Nutritional facts. Sugar. Even though there is no sugar ingredients in these 4 oat milks, Oat Canada is the only one with 0 grams of sugar. This is what makes Oat Canada very different from all the oat milks out there. If you look at the other 3, Suzie's oat has 14 grams of sugar per cup, which explains why it's so sweet. Maybe you're wondering, why is there sugar or sweetness in some oat milks even though there are no sugar ingredients? The reason is likely in the production process, where the oat starches are broken down into simple sugars. There was a whole saga in the oat milk industry on this in 2019. If you're interested, Google Oatly No Added Sugar 2019. Fats. Suzie's oat has no oils in there, so the fat is fairly low compared to the other three, which added oils in the oat milk. And this doesn't apply to me, but I noticed that Oat Canada has this disclaimer as well. Which is the healthiest of the four? Usually, I would decide based on the ingredients list. Ideally, I prefer no additives and less ingredients like Suzie's oat. But Suzie's oat is way too sweet, too much sugar. So for me, it's Oat Canada because of its truly unsweetened taste and 0 grams of sugar content. It tastes good, yet not addictive. If I drink this with tea, I don't crave a second cup. And it also helps me curb sugar cravings. Which is the healthiest in your opinion? Please do share in the comments below. By the way, if you're set on having a non-dairy milk alternative that is completely natural, nut-free, sugar-free, not slimy, super nutritious, and easy to make, hit on the subscribe button to be notified on my next video. Non-dairy creamer performance results. Let's take a look at a side-by-side comparison on how these oat milks perform as a creamer in coffee. Here's 125 ml of brewed medium to dark roast coffee. By the way, all the oat milks in this video have been refrigerated overnight and shaken very well before each test. Let's add a tablespoon of each of these respective oat milks in the coffee. Pay attention to the color and consistency and see which one you would prefer. That's the first tablespoon. Now let's add the second tablespoon. And finally, the third tablespoon. How do you like your coffee or tea creamers? A splash to get rid of the bitterness, or the milkier the better? You be the judge of this test. Which oat milk would you prefer in your coffee or tea? Feel free to share it in the comments below. The final test. Does it froth? I'm going to make some red tea lattes using this automatic milk frother and cold oat milks. Let's see. At a quick glance, all oat milks frothed up except Oat Canada. For some reason, Oat Canada, the oat milk heated up, but there were no bubbles or foam. I repeated the process with new cold oat milk and it still came up heated without bubbles. If you look at Suzie's oat, it frothed up very well. Lots of mini air bubbles and very foamy. Chobani Oat Plain is looking pretty good too. For Califia Farms, the foam seems thinner and finer compared to the two. Let's pour out the frothed oat milk and see. For Suzie's oat, the foam feels the most stable. Its stiffness is like a soft peak. It also generated the most foam. Oat Canada didn't froth up, but this is what it looks like. For Chobani Oat, it produced a somewhat stable but softer foam, not as stiff as Suzie's oat, but still manages to hold up pretty well. It produced quite a bit of foam, but not as much as Suzie's oat. The froth of Califia Farms is the finest, but not as stable as the other two. It feels like the foam would disappear if I'm not too gentle with the pouring. It also generated the least foam. So if I have to rank based on the froth, I would rank Suzie's oat number 1, followed by Chobani Oat, and then Califia Farms. So which one am I stocking up on? Here is my current collection. Actually, I have more of Oat Canada. I like Oat Canada and Chobani Oat Plain because they both taste like milk. While Chobani Oat tastes slightly better, I value the truly unsweetened taste of Oat Canada. So only after I've gone through 3 cartons of Oat Canada will I treat myself to 1 carton of Chobani Oat Plain. And here we are at the end of this comprehensive review. Which is your favorite store-bought oat milk? Is it on this list? Let us know in the comments below. See you next time.